How's it going, folks, and welcome back to Atalanta. Today we have the follow-up to the previous transfer special. If you didn't see it, do go check it out. £89 million spent so far this transfer window. Thiago Almada and Matthias Wiener, the players on the ins, on the outs, Guiri, and Pellegrini Hateboer, too, the players on the outs. Right now, a net spend of -1 million. We still have a little bit of money to spend if we so wish. £28 million in the transfer budget, a wage budget of 1.8 million, about 90k excess. If we do want to make any further transfers, we do need to make some sales, and there is some interest in our players, and much like I talked about last episode, I think the aim of the day today is to maybe look to sell one of our three starting centre-backs, try and get some good money, and then maybe reinvest it into a younger Italian centre-back. Of course, when it comes to centre-back options, we've got players like Wisdom Ame, Scalvini, probably good enough to start regularly if we wanted him to. Elsewhere, Papetti as well, another really good Italian centre-back option. But, you know, someone like Bastoni would be fun, even though Bastoni doesn't want to join me. I say that like Bastoni's actually an option. I mean, look, if I tick interested in transfer and put it to doubtful, he won't be here. He's not here. Bastoni, come back home. Come back to the team that made you, my friend. I feel like he is the end game signing that I'm going for with this series. I've just got my eye on him. My aim for today is obviously to get all our transfer business done, but also to try and get at least one more Thiago Almada-like signing. This man is absolutely class. He definitely elevates what we already have in the team. I'd like to get another one of him, but in the defence, if possible. So things to kick things off here with Christian Romero. I'm going to offer him out for an unspecified price and just see if there's any interest in him. I already have an agreement with him that I won't sell him for less than 87 million, but honestly, he had mistakes in him this year, and whilst he is a solid player, he's not a player who I look at and think, oh my word, I can't imagine life without you. You know, I look at players like Scalvini, yeah, not as good defensively and mentally, but considering he's 20 years old, he would not be a bad plan B. So yeah, Romero we're going to offer out. Saleh had some interest in him earlier on in the transfer window. That has completely dried up, which is a bit frustrating. So I'm not sure he's an option to sell. The other option, of course, is Benoit Badiashile, who is a bit of a fan favourite. He's one of my favourites too, but he has got interest in him, albeit only from Napoli. I kind of want to offer him out for an unspecified price, but apparently he won't react well to it. And I think of the three centre-back, he's the one who I kind of don't want to make angry. So, you know what, Benoit? I won't offer you out yet. For some reason in my head, I thought there'd be a big queue of people lining up to sign Romero. Apparently, no one is interested at the moment, so that's a bit annoying. Elsewhere, we are still getting offers for Notto. I've had offers from Torino today. I've had offers from Juventus, Napoli. I don't think anyone has bid more than £20 million. And to be honest, I don't really intend on selling him. I feel like as a 4th/5th choice striker option, he's really, really good. Obviously, he has kind of the things that often make strikers very good in Football Manager. He's fast, he can dribble, good determination, and, well, he's not too bad at that whole finishing malarkey either. So, no intention of selling him. We do keep getting these offers, but I don't know. I feel like it would take a bid of at least 35 million for me to even consider it. And even then, I'm not sure if I'd even actually sell him. Leipzig have made an offer for Marco, but given the fact that Marco is a player who is homegrown at club, has been at the team a long time, he's our captain, first choice goalkeeper, I think it goes without saying, he's just not for sale. Reject all future transfer offers. Don't even, send me through these offers. He can't be touched. The man has, 3 years left on his contract? He's one of the best goalkeepers in the league. Yeah, he ain't going anywhere. I talked about him last episode, but if I was to be able to sell one of our starting centre-backs, I think Mancini here would be the man I go for. He's currently playing for Tottenham, but he's transfer listed by request. They only played him 12 games last year, which I don't know why, but it feels mad that he can play so few games and then have a value of 41 million still that they're asking for. Right now, you can see Milan have made a bid of 37 million. I guess there's a temptation just to put an offer in, just in case, but at the same time, there's so little interest in our centre-backs right now, it would almost be, I don't know, maybe a tad premature to try and make a move. I suppose my concern is that there aren't a load of transfer-listed Italians anyway. And in terms of Italian centre-back options, I mean, you can see here, there are the occasional players. We could get a 37-year-old Bonucci if we wanted to. Also one like Luis Felipe, perhaps. But they're not really as good as Mancini. I'm kind of thinking I make an offer that is just like not it's an offer, but it's kind of an offer that I'm making not really with the intention of signing him, if that makes any sense. Essentially, I make this offer to stop Milan being able to possibly sign him. We'll ship out, or at least attempt to ship out, our centre-back options. If there's no interest in them, then no big deal. We'll just cancel the bid that I've just done. If there is interest, if we can move someone on, I have at least started to make some moves towards a replacement who, well, otherwise we might just not be able to sign, especially if he goes to Milan. I really don't want him to go to Milan. I feel like he'd be quite a good addition for their team. He's a very, very good centre-back. Just in terms of transfer-listed Italians, because I know there'll be a little bit of interest in, who is available. You can see some of the players here. We talked about many of these actually last episode. They are players who I have got on my radar. The likes of Tonali could be an interesting one at 24 years old, but at £80 million, it's quite a lot. One man who I have had my eye on a little bit is Dominguez. He was relegated with Bologna last year. Right now, he's got an asking price of 15.5 million. Which is a little much for my liking. But to be honest, given the fact he's just been relegated with them, I'm kind of hoping he might look to force a move. And if he did, he might be kind of an interesting centre mid option. I kind of look at current players in our team, players like Salvatore Esposito, who's a backup centre mid option. And Dominguez is undoubtedly an improvement, albeit for a slightly increased fee. Maybe, just maybe, we offer out Esposito for an unspecified price and just see if there's any interest in him. His current value is, if we just have a look here, what is his current value or his estimated value? It is 9.8 to 12 million. If we could kind of get that kind of money for him, that would make Dominguez only kind of a £5 million upgrade, which when you look at the difference between them, he'd probably be worth. So, yeah, I might see if there's any interest in Esposito. I feel like we need to raise some funds from somewhere, and kind of our 7th choice centre mid, probably not the worst place to look for that money. Okay, I have had an offer for Esposito. It's come from Saudi Arabia. Al Ali have made an offer of 12.5 million. That is a little bit of a surprise that they made that bid, but I'm going to accept it. Hopefully, he is actually interested in moving over. Elsewhere, you can see here, Mancini has had the bid that we made for him accepted. He is kind of happy to be a squad player, which isn't necessarily the worst position to be in. You can see media description of an elite centre-back. He only wants £59,000 to come and play for us. He's currently on £100,000. That is surprisingly reasonable, actually. I'm kind of tempted to offer him a 5-year deal and see if he's interested in it, because honestly, I look at this amount, I look at the wages, I'd almost be willing to pay 41 million because I think you're going to save a good bob just in terms of the actual wages that he's not asking for. I'm a little bit confused by why he's asking for so little money, but yeah, he'd be a good little centre-back option. You can see he had one really good year at Tottenham. Last year he struggled, but I think in our three at the back system, he could really, really shine. I love his passing. I love his first touch, good with the ball at his feet. Maybe not the best wide centre-back in terms of his crossing and dribbling. But given the fact we've got quite a young team in a lot of areas, having someone with 18 determination, perfectionist personality, could be a really, really useful influence to have in the dressing room. In fact, if he signs for us, he will be our 3rd oldest player. Of course, I say all of this knowing full well that I don't actually right now have £41 million. But if Esposito leaves, we will be pretty close to that. Of course, knowing my luck, Mancini will now decide that he actually wants to go to Milan should they make an offer that they accept. Hopefully he chooses us. I suppose we'll find out. Okay, good news. Esposito's accepted the move to Al Ali, which, I'll be honest, a little bit surprised he's decided to go, but I suppose money talks. It's 12.5 million, which is not an insignificant amount of money. Ultimately, we picked him up for 4.5 million. Hasn't really ever developed into a useful player for us. Last year, he was a backup, but as a backup, he played just one game. At that point, do you really need him as a backup? I'd argue not. And to be honest, 12.5 million is some really, really good money to get for him. What it does mean is our current transfer budget sits at 40 million. I can shuffle it slightly to free up 44 million. And yet we would be over our wage budget with the committed spend, which, maybe is a little bit of a problem. But it does mean that if I do want to sign Gianluca, I can actually just do the transfer without having to worry about selling anyone, which, I don't know. I feel like he makes sense as a good positive influence in the dressing room if we can make this deal happen. And of course, with Esposito leaving, we have actually already got a ready-made replacement in terms of that absolute emergency centre-mid option in Rafael Luiz. Yes, he's not quite as good yet in some areas, but physically, he is just a better player. Creativity-wise, he is just a better player. He's 19 years old. Rafael Luiz, I didn't realise how good you'd got, mate. Welcome to the senior team. I say welcome to the senior team. Going to make him available for the under-20s as well. He probably won't make the bench too often, but we'll have him in the list, so you guys can remember that he does exist. Where is he? There he is. Second youngest player in the starting team. Wisdom Ame. You kind of forget that this man's only 18. He has been developing really, really well at centre-back. Okay, Zach Haryan apparently wants a new contract. Marco, can you solve this problem? No, you can't. Zach Haryan, look, me and you, we are best buds. Don't do this. Don't hurt me. I always knew he was my favourite for a reason. What is his current contract? He's asked for a new contract. I've told him he can't have one. He's got 3 years left on it. 65k a week. Mate, you're earning plenty. You don't need more yet. You don't need... Netflix doesn't cost that much. And what else do young people your age need? You just get Netflix, your meal deal sandwiches. You'll be fine. I was going to consider selling Salcedo. We tried to sell him last episode. He's now got a hip injury and is out for 3 months. I already knew it was going to be a struggle to make back our money. There is absolutely no way in hell I'm getting more than 5.5 million for this guy, is there? There just isn't. He's now out for the next... I mean, I can't sell him until January now. I hate everything. We're not actually too far away from the start of the next season. It's about 4 weeks away, and the league table's reset. You know what that means? It means we've got the new season preview. Right now, we are considered the favourites for the title, which feels nice. We've never really been in this position before. In terms of Media Dream 11, Raspadori, Sesko, and Zakhayan, 3 of our players in it, which is, I don't know, that's a reassuring sign that our players are actually quite good. Made more reassuring, of course, by the fact that Zakhayan, who is in the Media Dream 11, at least in my provisional starting 11 for the year, isn't even starting for us. Neither is Sesko, mind you. Sesko probably could start, probably should start. Let me know. Sesko, Luca. Last year I was alternating by the end of the season. I'm not sure who the better option is. Answers on a postcard. You guys tend to know best. I actually don't think there's a great deal between them. It's just kind of what day of the week am I feeling? Is it a Sesko day or is it a Luca day? I think that's what it's going to come down to this coming season. Okay, Mancini has agreed to sign for us. This is a weird one because I think if I sign him, I'm going to have too many centre-backs. But at the same time, I think for 41 million... we're getting someone who's going to be a really good positive influence in the dressing room. Comes with a lot of experience, good reputation because he's played in the Italian national team. And yet, you know what? He didn't have the best year last year playing for Spurs. He didn't have any injuries. It's not like he was out super long term. They just didn't give him a chance. And whilst 41 million isn't cheap, I think for what he can bring, not just on the pitch, but also off the pitch in terms of a bit of a positive influence for our young squad, it's almost certainly worth picking him up. Also, the wages, £59,000 a week. Very, very reasonable. What it might well mean is Ame, who, to be fair, we did fast track a little bit into the first team last year. He might have to go out on loan. He might just sit as a bit more of a backup option for us. I feel like Ame was always a player we were kind of chucking in at the deep end and hoping that everyone else around him would be able to rally and kind of make up for his mistakes. I mean, you can see the 2 players compared here. It's fair to say that Mancini is just a straight upgrade. Very, very good player. Not the cheapest price, but I think he's worth the pennies that we've spent. I mean, of all our centre-back options, Soleil is the one who has had the most interest in him. I mean, when we compare these 2 players, there's not a great deal of difference between them. There is a world in which I could just try and move on Soleil now and see what interest there is. Obviously, I talked about it last episode. Man United and Newcastle had shown interest. No one had made a big bid. But I've offered him out previously. I keep getting this bid from Monaco. 33.5 million. I kind of need a little bit more than that. I'm going to be cheeky and ask for 47.5 and see if they do it. They've bid 37.5. What about 45? 45? Apparently he isn't interested in speaking to Monaco, but given the fact that the only team making an offer, I'm just going to accept 45 million. Obviously, that is a little bit more than what we've paid for Mancini. I'd argue that the difference between the 2 players is fairly negligible. If I wasn't going for this whole Italian core thing, it probably wouldn't make sense to get rid of Soleil right now. But given the fact that we don't have an Italian centre-back in our team, and Italy is just the land of 3 centre-back formations, you know, it's ingrained in the blood, the Italian way, with a 3 at the back and wing-backs. I kind of want to have an Italian in our defence for next year, and to do that, I am going to have to sell one of these other players. Okay, Manchester United have made an offer for Soleil. They've offered me 27 million now and 27 million in 3 £9 million instalments. Apparently his preferred destination is Manchester United. It's good money. It's a bit annoying that it's as spread out as it is, but given the fact the replacement is already here, maybe I should just take this. It's 54 million, which is more than obviously the 45 million we've negotiated with Monaco, and he is actually interested in this move. My concern is with the Monaco thing, he might just not take the deal. I kind of wish the money was all up front. You know what? I'm going to reject this Manchester United offer. I hope I don't live to regret it. I'm just going to offer him out for 55 million. Obviously, Manchester United just bid 54. Monaco have already accepted a bid from them of 45. Maybe Manchester United will be baited into making a bid that doesn't involve instalments. My concern basically is with them paying installments. It doesn't really give me much money, that 27 million, to go out and make, I don't know, a signing with that money that we recoup. And whilst obviously we've already signed the replacement for him, I'd rather have the money available to dip in now if, say, a player became available who I'm particularly keen on. But to make that happen, I do actually have to get some bids. And, well, Manchester United, they've not come back, which is awkward. Brighton have made an offer for Galini. Galini is not for sale. Leave my backup goalkeeper alone. Bayern Munich have made a bid for Sesko. Apparently, you'd rather go to Arsenal than Bayern with Sesko. They've bid 80 million, but it involves installments. I don't want installments. I need cold, hard cash up front. Elsewhere, Notto's now at a bid of 19 million, not for sale. Leipzig have made an offer for Marco. They bid 29 million, instantly rejected. And we have to choose the current pitch size or next season's pitch size. We're currently at the minimum allowed. In some leagues, you get really exciting dimensions. Not the case here in Serie A. We'll just keep it at the sizes at already, which I believe is the minimum size anyway. Yeah, not any bids coming for players that I want to sell right now. I'm going to keep an eye on the Sesko deal. I talked about it last episode. You know, if a bid of 100 million came in, I'd probably consider it. But 80 million with it over, you know, lots of clauses. No. I need it up front. This is annoying, isn't it? Soleil rejects an offer from Monaco. I knew this could happen. I knew it might happen. I need to get Manchester United to make a bid on him. We'll offer him out for 50 million and see if we have any luck, I suppose. But, yeah, not what I wanted to see. This, however, is what I wanted to see. Manchester United have made a bid of 50 million for Soleil. All the money up front. That is more than what Monaco were offering. He wants to go to Manchester United. It just makes sense. Let's kick him out. That would be 50 million made. And of course, Mancini then just slots in to play wide centre-back out on the right-hand side. I like Soleil. I think he's a good player. But as part of our quest to have more Italian players, and also because he hates important matches, and also he's kind of close to his full potential, I am somewhat happy and, well, glad to get him go. We make a little bit of money versus the player we've already signed to, is essentially, for all intents and purposes, the replacement. And I think when you compare the two players, whilst there is a little bit of a difference between the two of them, I actually think that Gianluca is more than an adequate replacement. And for all the memories we've made with Soleil, I think we can do a little bit better. Brighton make another bid for Galini. He's not for sale. Graham Potter, leave me alone. Inter make a bid for Zakharyan. How much are they going to bid? How much would they bid? 36 million, 21 million. Oh, am I really willing to sell another player to Inter Milan? They've bid 57 million. What did I sign Almada for? It was like 60-something million. I'm going to suggest 75. There's no way they accept this. There is a way they accept this. Oh, do I actually have to take that? 70 million all up front for Zakharyan. Like, I adore this man. This man was so good for us. He's one of my favourite players. But I've already signed Thiago Almada, who is just a better player. And 75 million is a lot. I mean, 75 million, that could enable me to sign Sandro Tonali. Is he still transfer listed? Let's just have a look. What could I sign? Sandro Tonali is transfer listed for 79 million. I mean, Sandro Tonali is not a super wah-wah-wee-wah player in Football Manager terms. He's not the most sexy, and overall ability-wise, he's not the craziest. But at 24 years old, he is still very, very good, isn't he? He is still very, very good. How does he compare with Pessina? Pessina in blue is probably the player he'd replace in our team. Oh, he's very good. He's very good. Tonali has the Ward-Prowse thing as well, where some of the stuff he's very good at doesn't really show up in polygons particularly. And there's lots of 14s and 15s, which means you don't see a load of exciting yellow in the kind of attribute kind of thresholds, but he is phenomenal. I'm going to make a bid. I'm going to make it 79 million. They're probably going to accept that. Of course, Zakharyan still has to agree to go to Inter Milan. I'm not in the business of selling our best players, but for what Zakharyan's done this year, I have already got a replacement who is at the club, who is signed, and it kind of just makes sense. Oh, it hurts to say, but if Soleil and Zakharyan go, I mean, that's £125 million in the bank. We can sign Tonali, and then there's still a load of money for another player as well for like 45 million. It just makes sense. It hurts to say, it just makes sense for so many reasons. Okay, our bid for Tonali's been accepted. Our current highest earner is on £120,000 a week, so I'm hoping that Tonali will be reasonable and accept a wage of 120,000. Thank you, Sandro Tonali, for making this very simple for me. So Tonali's on his way in. Of course, it all hinges on Zach Kyan and Soleil both leaving. I think if neither of those deals happen, we won't be able to sign Tonali. I think if Zach Kyan happened but Soleil didn't, we can sign Tonali. The worst case scenario is Soleil leaves, Zach Kyan turns down Inter. I don't think we then have the money for Tonali, which would be a bit annoying, all things considering. Also, given the fact I've just accepted a bid for Zach Kyan, we might as well now just offer him out for like a little bit more and just see if any of the Prem teams are interested at 80, or not 85, 90 million. We'll get ambitious. He's asking why I'm touting his services to other clubs. Oh, I'm pissing off one of my favourites. Okay, Raspadori's solved his unhappiness. Will anyone actually come close to bidding that 90 million? I feel like I've got a bit greedy with it. Soleil, work permit pending. He is on his way to Man UFC. That's one thumbs up. I can't believe I'm getting rid of Zach Kyan, but it's just the right thing to do. It just makes sense for so many reasons. So you can see here the official pre-season odds. We are the favourites. Inter second favourites, Juve third, Milan fourth. We're slowly but surely becoming a bigger and bigger player within Italy. One day, Bastoni will be interested in talking to me. Is the day today? No, he still doesn't show up when I sort by rep. I feel sad. I want him to come home. Maybe if I get Tonali, I can convince him. Tell me how to feel. Tell me how I should feel. Zach Kyan snubs Inter, so we're not getting 75 million. If Soleil leaves, we still get 50 million. I can't afford Tonali at the moment, but I kind of want to get in Tonali. Oh, I don't know what to do now. Let's offer out Zach Kyan for an unspecified amount. See if anyone bids close to 75 million. I'd kind of emotionally prepared for the fact that Zach Kyan was going to leave, and now he's not leaving. It's kind of awkward. There's no offers for him. Well, that puts the Tonali deal in jeopardy, doesn't it? So if Soleil leaves, which seems like it's going to happen, I need to free up £30 million. And I'm looking through all the different options we have. And I'm sat looking at Renato Sanchez thinking, if I can get 35 million for you, I can get Sandro Tonali signed, and it would just kind of make sense. So I'm going to offer him out and see if anyone makes a bid. Soleil leaving the club. We've already sorted a replacement. £49 million gets added to the transfer budget. That's rather nice. Obviously, not enough to sign Tonali. This is the worst case scenario that I outlined previously. And what it means is right now, £51 million transfer budget, and Tonali, I think, was 79 million. I can't believe I'm saying this. I really wish Zach Kyan wasn't here right now. I really wish he'd accepted the Inter offer. It would have made things so much more straightforward. No one's bid on Renato Sanchez. It's an issue. It's an issue. Also, I mean, let's look at positive. Soleil, new record sale at the club, surpassing Zapata's £40 million. Soleil leaving for 50 million is a record sale. So something to celebrate. I'm now sat wondering what I'd spend the 50 million on if I can't make the Tonali deal happen. I'm looking through the players who have interest in them, the players that I'm willing to sell, and I just don't see a way that I can raise the funds that I need. The only option maybe would be to offer out Budgetary, risk him getting annoyed, have to sign a new centre-back, but also be able to sign Tonali. Unless I start Scalvini, I'm going to take a gamble. I'm going to offer out Budgetary. This could be a senseless gamble. It could work out. We'll find out together. There's offers been made. 40 million by Napoli. Thought he's not interested in speaking to Napoli. What about Hertha Berlin? He needs some convincing. Right, they asked for... How much did Napoli bid? Was it 40? 40.5. Hertha Berlin, 40.5. I don't want to pay 40.5. 40? 28? Nah. The Napoli bid is... It's one that's worth considering, I suppose, but the fact he doesn't want to join Napoli means I'm just going to leave him sad. Yeah, I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. I don't think I can get the Tonali deal done. And now Budget's upset. Raspadori, please solve the problem. Do it again. Raspadori, I really, really like you at the moment. You're doing me some favours because I am just messing things up trying to make a signing happen that I don't even really need. We don't really need Tonali. It'd be a nice, kind of sexy thumbnail signing for today. But Oh, I mean, I have 50 million. I just don't have 80. What makes this all more frustrating, of course, is the fact, bank balance, £109 million. I have £109 million to spend. Can you increase the wage budget? Can you increase the transfer budget? A few years ago in Football Manager, you could request this stuff, and with these balances, it would probably get granted. I feel like this year now, at the start of the season, the board say, oh, you know, we can't do it this soon into the year. Has the Tonali bid been delayed? I could ask the board to sign Tonali. When have I ever regretted asking the board to sign anyone? Don't answer that. Right, Tonali, board. Can you get the money? We can achieve great things. It'd cost too much. It'd cost too much. I guess we're delaying it. I just feel sad. So I've looked through the team again, and the only player who I could maybe even possibly sell to raise 30 million for that I've not already tried to sell would be Rafael Luiz. And there's no way that someone's going to pay the money that I need for this guy, is there? But I feel like it's my only shot. And given his age, maybe I can win him back over if he's not happy with how he's been treated. I'm going to offer him out for 37 million. To get the Tonali deal done, we need about 28 million, but I'd rather start high and work lower. He wants to discuss asking prices. What's a fair price in your eyes? Please tell me. 19. I need 29. I need at least like 30 million to get the Tonali deal done. I mean, I might be about to piss off our best hot prospect who's currently only got a year left on his contract. This really hasn't gone to plan, has it? I've really balls this up. I'm going to have to just slowly lower his asking price. I've just realised because he's in the last year of his contract, it might be a bit of a problematic situation trying to get him to renew after this whole saga. But on the flip side, none of that even matters if we sign Tonali. I'm just concerned by the fact that no one is showing any interest. I've perhaps been a little ambitious with how much I'm asking for. I know some of you are wondering, Jack, it says he's wanted. Who's he wanted by? Lecce and Serie B on loan. It's not what I need right now. Young Boys have made an offer for him. It's 25 million involving clauses. That doesn't work. Rafael Luiz, I'm sorry that I offered you out. I'll beg for forgiveness. He'll be forgetting about it in a month and I'll be able to renew his contract. I hope. Elsewhere, the board have reacted to my requests. These aren't getting granted. I know they're not getting granted. I've played the game enough to know. I could beg with them, though. Please, could we have an improved transfer budget? Yeah, it was adjusted recently, so they're not willing to do it. Leak to press. No. Don't hit that button, Jack. Leave the meeting. What about the wage budget, please? I hate everything. I hate everything. And now Luiz wants... Oh, it's fine. It's pain. I'm fine. Everything's okay. Raspadori, solve the problem, please. Thank you. He hasn't solved it. Luiz hates me. Luiz hates me. I've made my decision. I don't want to lose you. Do you feel like I'm an integral part of your side? I want to be considered a star player. Mate, you are 19. You have never played for the senior team. Why would I make you a star player? Football Manager has some of those mental player interactions in the world, doesn't it? What even is this? Why would he ever want to be a star player? You're a model citizen, son. Be a model. I just wanted Tonali. I can't believe I'm even doing this. I'm going to offer out Benjamin Sesko and just see what bids we get. Because if I did get that bid of 100 million, I would actually consider it. Now, is anyone actually going to bid 100 million for him? Absolutely not. But we might as well offer him out. Luiz, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I can't make you a star player. But stop crying. I'm being reasonable. Leave me alone. Okay, bids for Sesko. 76 million. It's all up front. It's locked in. 53 million from Real Madrid. Locked in. 54 million from Inter. Not locked in. Inter, you have money. If you give me 95 million, Benjamin Sesko's yours. 90 million? 90's reasonable. I don't really want to sell him to a rival. 76 million. Oh, it's just not enough, is it? It's just not enough. He's too good to sell for that price. He's probably now going to be upset I've rejected all these bids and I'm going to have more admin to deal with. I've just got to hope that he's more reasonable than Luiz. I can't sign Tonali. I feel like I've tried everything that I thought could be possible. Adme is not available. Leave us alone, Torino. There just isn't a route to get him. Unless a bid comes from absolutely nowhere for someone. yeah, it's not happening, and I'm a bit sad about it, to be honest. It's just dawned on me as well. We're at the end of pre-season. We've got Udinese in a week. Like, we've been playing our pre-season games, won 26-0, won 16-1. I'm not going to lie to you and say I attended these games. Of course I didn't. I wasn't going to sit and watch a 26-0. But Amalda did get a hat-trick. So for what it's worth, against Missaglia, yeah, new signing got a hat-trick. Missaglia, by the way, a really, really big team in Italy. Very well known. Formidable opposition. Great result to beat them 26-0. The thing I have to remind myself is, even if I don't sign Tonali, I do still have £50 million to spend. Like, it's still not an insignificant amount of money. I was looking at non-Italian players transfer listed, but I feel like if I do that, I'm like window shopping for players that I know I shouldn't really be signing. But, you know, I did spot like a Pogba, a Nunes, playing for Manchester United, Calvin Phillips, Paqueta. These are all very, very fun players, aren't they? But they're not players that I should sign. They're not Italian. Paqueta, are you part Italian? Are you part Italian? He's not part Italian. I mean, he would show up in the partially Italian search. Why am I doing this to myself? I feel like the second half of this episode has just been me metaphorically with a hammer, smashing open a piggy bank, trying to scrape together the pennies needed to make a transfer happen that I know in reality I can't make happen. And it kind of just makes me feel sad. We've got 50 million. I could spend that on someone quite good, I feel like. But at the same time, I don't know if there's really an option out there right now that kind of ticks the boxes. It's not like we desperately need a certain position. We're kind of looking for luxury signings. And with that in mind, I feel like you have to pay big money for those kind of players. Maybe also you have to save your money to be able to make those big transfers down the line when you do have the cash. Barcelona have made a bid of 30 million for Renato Sanchez. Now, I know Barcelona don't have the best reputation for actually paying the fees that they offer for players and players' wages, but 30 million for Renato. I think I have to take it. I mean, they say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing again and again and hoping for different results. I've just been slowly offering out Renato Sanchez for less money because I felt like he was the only player we could get rid of. We actually have a bid of 30 million. I just have to hope that that deal goes through soon enough that I'm actually able to make the Tonali deal happen. And the worst thing of all is the season starts in 4 days, so we might not even have closure on this transfer before next episode ends. I have to delay the Tonali deal again. I have to delay it again and hope they just accept it. Please let me delay it. Thank you. Okay, Renato Sanchez. Oh, the game's on the Saturday, not the Sunday. You guys are going to hate me if I end the episode without you guys knowing if the transfer is going to happen, but it might be the world that we live in. It might be something we have to come back for next episode. Unless the Renato deal can be done today, which I don't think it's going to be done. I know it's not going to be done. It's not happening. We are going to not know what happens with the Tonali deal before the end of this episode. We're getting some profit off the sales of players. Sadly, it's, well, in this case, 160,000. Stonks. I'm at the day of the Udinese game. Renato Sanchez hasn't left yet. Tonali hasn't joined yet. But if those deals happen, we can actually make it happen. It makes so much sense. Renato Sanchez is dropping down the pecking order. We've already got Armada in, who kind of, well, he's better than him in the same role. We've got Zakharyan as well. Tonali can play as the box-to-box midfielder and maybe knock Pessina down the team a little bit. Oh, I think it's all going to work out in the end, but I can't sit here right now at the end of this episode and guarantee that. In a somewhat bizarre way, I feel like I owe you guys an apology, because this transfer special, it might as well be called the Sandro Tonali episode. It's all been about trying to free up the funds for this guy by any which way possible, but I think at the 11th hour, we might have found a way to do it, but I can't guarantee it as we sit here right now. I think Tonali would be an absolutely wicked player to get for us. He's a player who could maybe play as the box-to-box midfielder in our team, but I am also conscious of the fact he could very easily play as the roaming playmaker in our team as well. I suppose we have a lot of tactical options. In fact, one thing I was just sat here thinking just now is I could move Zakharyan in for Pessina, maybe play 2 centre mids on attack, and then because Tonali's so good defensively, maybe he sits behind as the roaming playmaker and on his own he can kind of make that work. That could be quite exciting. But we'll find out next episode, I suppose, because I don't know what's going to happen. A weird episode today, but I hope you thought it was a wonderful episode as well. Thank you for sticking out with me if you've gone to the end of the video. As always, if you are enjoying the series, do drop a like on it. We've got Mancini in, we sold Soleil, we sold a few other pretty key first-team players over the course of this transfer window. Good money made for Esposito, Guerrieri and Pellegrini leaving. Obviously, Matthias Vina, very, very happy with him. I feel like if we can get Almada, Mancini and Tonali done, our squad is better than the squad that we had at the end of last season. And as far as I'm concerned, that was always the aim. Next time out, we are going to be starting the season with a couple of matches at the beginning of the season. I hope you're excited for it. Hopefully, we'll have a few more signings to show off in those first competitive games next time out. And until then, take it easy. I'll see you guys again soon. It is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you all in a bit. I'm out.